Hello and welcome to Express Your Truth Poetry Series. This is Class 8 and today we're going to be looking at sonnets. A sonnet is a 14-line poem with a set rhyme scheme. Sonnets are going to be the most complicated poems that we have written so far, because not only do you have to worry about a rhyme scheme, but there's also something called Iambic Pentameter that traditional sonnets were written in. You don't have to write an Iambic Pentameter. It's kind of old-fashioned. But because this is a poetry series, I feel like there's a compulsion to tell you, or a responsibility to tell you what it is, even if you don't ever end up using it. And it's kind of complicated. So don't panic if you don't really get it. As you practice more and more, it might become more familiar. But if you never use an Iambic Pentameter, you can still be a very accomplished poet. Yes. So Iambic Pentameter is from the root penta, which means 5. So you have spondees. Spondees are sets of words with 2 syllables. It can be 2 words like hot dog, or it can be 1 word like walrus, right? Walrus, it has 2 syllables, see? Yes. We talked about syllables in one of the previous classes, in the haiku class, which I think is class 3. Yes. So if you need to refresh yourself on syllables, please review class 3. But anyway, so in an Iambic Pentameter line, there's going to be 5 spondees. So that's going to be 10 syllables, right? So in Iambic Pentameter, the second syllable has the stress, right? So it's not walrus, it's walrus. It's not peanut, it's peanut. It's not happy, it's happy. You put the emphasis on the second syllable. So as an example of an Iambic Pentameter sonnet, we're going to look at this Petrarchan sonnet by the poet John Milton. I'm going to add emphasis to the stressed words. You wouldn't naturally read it like this, but I'm giving you the example of Iambic Pentameter. When I consider how my light is spent, ere half my days in this dark world and wide, and that one talent which in death to hide, lodged with me, useless through my soul more bent. So you can see the way it kind of hits the second syllable in each spondee with greater emphasis. Cassandra, none of this makes any sense to me. It's all right. It's okay. You don't have to write an Iambic Pentameter, but I'm just telling you what it is. The most important thing about a sonnet is that it's 14 lines long and that it has a set rhyme scheme. And again, there's 3 different kinds of sonnets. So let's look at the rhyme schemes now for the different kinds of sonnets. Of course, the most famous kind of sonnet is the Shakespearean sonnet, made famous by, Shakespeare. So there's also a Petrarchan sonnet and a Spenserian sonnet. The first kind of sonnet that we're going to look at is the Petrarchan sonnet. Okay, so there's 14 lines all together. So there's the first octave, which is 8 lines. And then there's a sestet, which is 6 lines. So 6 plus 8 is 14 lines. Now, you don't have to write these all at once. You could do it in 10-minute segments as you do your poetry practice every morning, right? So you could start with the first 4, and then do the second 4, and then do the final 6 on the 3rd day. You could take a week to kind of put this together. You don't have to have it. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to finish this right away, all right? But so the ending word is going to rhyme in all of these lines, okay? And so A, B, B, A, it kind of looks like algebra, right? But it's not. This is just this word and this word and this word and this word are all going to rhyme. And this word, this word, this word, and this word are all going to rhyme. And then as you get down to the bottom, it's these 2 words, these 2 words, and these 2 words are going to rhyme. Right? And so this is the rhyme scheme that makes it a Petrarchan sonnet. So you don't have to worry about Iambic Pentameter unless you want to. Okay? So for example, let's just keep it easy. Okay? So we'll say hat, and cat and bat and mat. And then this could be fly and my. They're probably not my. Let's do a slant rhyme. Let's do fly and may and day and say. Right? And then down here we have went and sent and three and see and wet and bet. All right, now we have no idea what this poem is going to be about. We've just put in our words. This again helps us to kind of get our brain around what this poem is going to be like, and it helps us to kind of just do some wordplay to get ourselves into that frame of mind. Okay, because I have not written this out yet. This is all just on the fly, just putting this together, wordplay. Okay, I'm going to work on this for just a minute. Okay, after a moment's thought, I changed a couple of the words. I changed bat to sat. It was hard to come up with a sentence for bat. And then I changed bet to baguette, which is kind of a slant rhyme, but it worked really well in my poem. So here is the poem that I wrote, just given all of those words at random. A lot of times sonnets are about lost loves and people in love and people who aren't in love anymore. So I kind of use that as my theme. Okay. On a sunny day I'll wear a hat and watch in wonderment the clouds that fly and see the time pass, come what may, and ponder the sleek movements of my cat in the shade yonder where once sat my love, who was there on fairer day. I often wonder what he now would say if I could see him on our picnic mat. It is a puzzle where my lover went. We had been happy for a month or three, and when the rain came I became quite wet, when for an umbrella he was sent, but his face never again did I chance see. He left me there forlorn with my baguette. So the second sonnet we're going to look at is a Shakespearean sonnet. And again, these are written in Iambic Pentameter if you want to give that a try. So in the Shakespearean sonnet that we're looking at today, this is the rhyme scheme. There's 14 lines. There's 3 quatrains, so 3 groups of 4 lines. Those are also called stanzas. And then it ends in a couplet, so that's only 2 lines at the end. So it's every other line that rhymes. A, B, A, B. So the 2 A's rhyme and the 2 B's rhyme. C, D, C, D. The 2 C's rhyme, the 2 D's rhyme. The 2 E's rhyme, the 2 F's rhyme, and then the 2 G's rhyme. So it's just like every other line except for the couplet at the end. So now I'm going to use the words from an actual Shakespearean sonnet, and I'm going to read that to you in just a moment. But I want to show you how the words work. So the first word is day, May, temperate, date. Now he kind of actually rhymed date with May and day more, but he kind of did a slant rhyme with temperate, right? Shakespeare can do that because he's in charge, right? Second stanza is shines, declines, dimmed, and trimmed. Untrimmed. He didn't trim it. It's untrimmed. It's kind of a mess. All right, then the third stanza, the third quatrain is fade and shade. Now, you can see right here, he took some liberties with these words. Owest is like ode. Growest is like grown. Growest and owest aren't technically words, but they were back in Shakespeare's time, apparently. And then we have see and thee. All right, so I'm going to read the sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed, but thy eternal summer shall not fade. Nor lose possession of that fair that owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, So long lives this and gives life to thee. Okay, now again, 14 lines for a Spenserian sonnet. This is the third sonnet type. All right, but the rhyme scheme is a little bit different. There's 3 quatrains, there's 3 stanzas of 4 lines, and then a couplet at the end. Now this one is A, B, A, B, but then you carry that same rhyming word into the second stanza, into the second quatrain. So you're going to say B, B, C, B, C. The C's jump down and become part of the third quatrain, C, D, C, D, and then E, E. So if we're going to do a random Spenserian sonnet, again, let's pick words that rhyme easily. All right, let's do song and long. Let's do heart. Again, it's always about love and stuff. Heart and smart. Now, these B's, heart and smart, we have to have 2 more of those. So let's do cart and start. And then we can come up with a different one for here. This could be leave. So we have leave. Let's do grieve, because it's always a sad love story. And then we'll do believe and weave. Oops, it's because these are C's. I put that on the wrong line. Believe and weave. See, because these have to rhyme with these down here. So then we need to just come up with 2 more words to rhyme. So let's do star and far, because that has a lot of the same sounds as heart and smart and start and cart. So star and far will kind of work into the whole thing. And then we just have to have 2 final words. Okay, so for the final couplet, let's do love and shove, because we're going to make this another tragedy, right? Yes, the Spenserian sonnet is going to be a tragedy. So give me a minute and I'll put this together. I just changed cart to a part. All right, here is my Spenserian sonnet. My life is like a song that I sing with my heart. With hope I'll live long, perhaps, if I live smart. Sometimes I feel I'll fall apart if I don't leave. It's better not to start if not ready to grieve. Because even if you believe, hitch your post to a star, the pattern you weave might not get you too far. Deciding to love gives your senses a shove. See, and you can see, keep your mistakes, keep the things that you don't like, because sometimes you might come back later and decide that this was a better sentence, or this is a better word than the one you actually chose. So your rough drafts are valuable. And this modern sonnet is by our friend and mentor and poet Enrique Argueta. Now it's a modified sonnet. It isn't quite 14 lines long, but the rhyme scheme is fantastic. Yes, listen and enjoy.
The sensation of the rain doesn't feel the same unless it's following sunny days. Right. It's that oh so beautiful, the physical and spiritual, 2 different bodies that combine to make the same.
So good luck with your sonnets this week. Give it some time. Just do them in little pieces if 14 lines is too overwhelming to get started. I know you can do it. It's a challenge, and challenges are good for our brain and for our creativity. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week for class 9.